You're in for a real treat.
If we can dream it, then we can do it. Yes, we can, yes, we can.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, 'cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hey Disney fans, come join the fun. Corey and Lawrence, the magic's begun. From the parks to the stories we adore, let's dive into the magic. There's so much more. It's the DIZPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. Entertain and teach every step of the way. With stories and facts, we brighten your day. From Disney history to tips and tricks, we've got the magic mix that always clicks. It's the DIZPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. Feel the magic, the joy and the cheer. Together we'll make memories year after year. The DIZPod, the DIZPod, let's all sing along. With Corey and Lawrence, the magic's never gone. Bringing joy to your day in every way. In the DIZPod, where the magic's here to stay.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Hello and welcome to the DIZPod, everyone. Hello out there to all of you who are watching and listening live tonight, this evening of April 15th, 2025. We are recording this at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. I've got my park bro here with me, Lawrence, and we do this live because we do it for you. All those quick ones into the chat is Roderick Freeman, Benjamin Burton, Shirley Renee, Anne, Sharon Hecker, just to name a few. And welcome all of you. She says, welcome, fellow DIZPodians. I like that. I like that. That's a good one.
April 15th. Does that date mean something?
It doesn't to me because I always get my taxes done quite early.
Taxes. Gotta go, guys. Bye.
Better call TurboTax.
Okay, wait. I finished
you
that.
had me scared there. Just call TurboTax. Just dial it up on the old computer on the Google machine, and we'll get your taxes done really quick. That's non-sponsored. Everybody.
Yes.
Totally non-sponsored.
Please make sure you have your taxes done. Oh, Jay's in chat. Hello, Jay. I think Mom is watching. Jessica from Keeping It Thrills. She's on her personal account. All right, hello. And I'm sure Finley's watching if Mom is watching.
Kimberly Packworld has shown up as well. What's up, Kimberly? And we also thank anyone watching this or listening to this episode on the other platforms, Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. We appreciate that as well. It's funny, I was flipping through the Apple podcast the other day because I wanted to pick up a new podcast because kind of getting into that a little bit more as I'm on the road quite often and trying to find something enjoyable to pass the day.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm flipping through, when I got towards the end of the suggested list, the DIZPod was there. And I was like, oh, kind of nice to see that with the big guns. No matter what the genres were, I was flipping through. There's the DIZPod. So pretty
Yeah, it
cool.
always amazes me when I'm on iHeartRadio or I get a notification on iHeartRadio that the DIZPod has a new episode. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll take that. Thank you.
Exactly. This is our little baby. We feed it, we burp it, we change its diapers. It's the DIZPod. Yes. So today, hey, listen, if you are tuning into this episode, we are going to talk about the Disney college program, the DCPers. So you'll be interested in this if you've had children in this, if you were one yourself, or if you have children that would like to be in it. Any way you slice it, we're going to talk about DCP today. And we have Zac on today, who we're grateful that he is coming on to talk all things DCP with us.
Yes. You know, it's one of those that we've talked about having on the show as a topic for a while. So I'm glad Zach was able to join us and kind of give us his perspective on it. And I've pulled up some facts about it as well that we can look at later on.
Excellent. So if you're ready to bring them on, I'm good.
Yes. All right. So I met Zach at the NC Disneyana last year when he cheated and gave the win to some kids. No, we did. He hosted trivia and did a great job, and he helps Elizabeth out quite a bit at NC Disneyana. So I'm looking forward to that in October, I believe, this year. So without further ado, let's bring in Zach. Zach, good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Welcome, Zach.
No problem, guys. Good to be here.
So, excuse me. Tell me. Let's start with how we met, which was during NC Disneyana. How long have you been involved with NC Disneyana?
Is it possible to say -1?
-1, okay.
So originally, it was a pen trading group that would meet at the now defunct Disney store at Crabtree Valley Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of spun out through there. Liz was very involved. She was the head of the group and wanted to make a pen event in the area, which didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And we originally thought, like, oh, we'll just do meetups at the mall, do little trades. And it kind of just spiraled from there. Liz was really gung-ho about making this an bigger and bigger event till this is our 5th anniversary now.
Nice.
And you were right. It is December. Not December. Sorry. I'm screwing up now. It is October 4th, and it'll be in Durham this year.
Yeah. So a little closer
Tickets are available
to our area. Yeah. October 3rd is my birthday. So if I'm in town, I will certainly be
Do we
there.
need to get you some cake?
Ooh, some cake. I like that.
I gotta be nice somehow. He keeps beefing, saying I cheated.
No, you know what's funny about that is when it started, right? Like I just got into position, so I got like ready to go, and Zach called me out. He's like, "Look, this guy over here. He's all ready to go. He's getting close in his seat and everything." And then I did not do well at all.
Hey, I warn everybody before, it is meant to be hard, and I make it hard.
But I think that's what's good about trivia games like that, is because you learn something. We've done a few on here, right? Remember the one, Corey, with you and Victor?
Yes.
And that was a little tough.
As much as we're involved with Disney, it's amazing how much we don't know.
That's true.
It's just amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, Walt Disney did design Disney World to be a place that no matter how many times you go, there's always something new.
Yeah. So
same with Disney trivia, you never know everything.
That's right. Where did your love of Disney come from? When did it start?
Definitely from my parents, my dad especially. My parents actually went to Disney World for their honeymoon back in 1986. And it just kind of spiraled from there. It was always a nice family event. And the first time I ever went was back in, I want to say 1999. I was about 5 years old. And every year my family went back to Disney all the way until I actually worked for Disney. So that was between 1999 and 2017.
So you did an annual trip until that point?
Sometimes multiple. It
Okay.
just depended. It was a family thing. It was a place where we always knew where we would get a valuable vacation, because we didn't just stay at Walt Disney World. We went around Florida. We went down to Miami. We went to Tampa Bay. We went out to Cape Canaveral.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Disney was definitely involved in every single trip, but you got to, and truly appreciate Disney, you got to do other things that are in the area. like Universal
Yeah. Yeah, we took a family trip
or
in
Gatorland,
the
my
80s.
personal favorite.
That's right. That's right. We did a family trip in the 80s where we did Gatorland, we did Cape Canaveral, Daytona Beach. There was no Universal then, but trying to think. Oh, we did River
Busch
Country.
Gardens.
We didn't do Busch Gardens, but we did River Country and we did Discovery Island. So I'm glad I was able to do those two that trip because
Back when that still existed.
Yeah.
I never got to do that.
yeah, can't do them now.
Well,
Nope.
technically you can. You just get banned.
Trying to remember what sticks out to me about River Country is the beach. Like it felt like there was this little beach area. Discovery Island, I don't know that I remember much about it because that literally was the only time we did that trip.
From what my understanding is, it's basically the predecessor to Animal Kingdom, which I have no idea how they would do that on that island. That had to be a nightmare for the zookeepers.
It was very small, which I think is why they named the front part of Animal Kingdom Discovery Island, because it was essentially just about that size. But nature has taken that back. So,
and River Country is now being made into part of Isn't it Fort Wilderness?
It's going to be Lakeshore.
It's gonna be its
something.
own thing, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a DVC area.
DVC. Yes.
It's being turned into something else after sitting there for, I want to say, 25 years.
Yeah, it's been sitting there for a long time waiting for something to happen. So
Disney can just
Yeah.
constantly build places for people to stay because, they just it's
Well,
in
if
need.
they're good, we can talk about the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser all we want.
Yeah, that was not a W for them at all.
Yeah, and if the rumors are true, they're turning it into Imagineering offices now.
Yeah, they're using it, I think, temporarily. I'm guessing while everything is being worked on at Magic and Hollywood. I don't know what the plans are
Makes
after that,
sense.
though. Yeah, I mean, it's there. You might as well use it, right? So you take multiple family trips until 2017, and then how do you get into the college program?
So first you have to apply like any other job. It's actually a pretty straightforward application on the Disney Career website. The one thing that a lot of people think with the application is you have to prove that you're fit for the job that you want. And I mean fit like you have to go overboard on your resume to be like, oh, I want to work in attractions. Well, I'm going to say that I'm on the engineering team at my college, or I'm really into stage performances to get into working with the stage actors. It's not necessarily true. What you got to do is get your foot in the door, and that's get past the interview stage. So basically what will happen is after you apply, you'll get an online questionnaire if you get to the next stage. And in this online questionnaire, they'll ask, okay, well, we have all these departments. Which ones would you be interested in? Which would you not want to be involved in? Why? It's just a basic questionnaire. And after that, you get to probably the most stressful part of the whole thing, which is the phone interview, which a lot of people dread phone interviews. I don't even know if they do it as a phone call now. It might be a Skype. Skype doesn't exist. Maybe Zoom. Which I know a lot of people even get more freaked out over that because it's face to face, and a lot of people just don't like doing those kind of interviews. I know I was stressing out the whole time just with a phone interview. I was pacing. And I am a bit of a different circumstance from a normal DCP because I did it applying knowing I was about to graduate.
Oh, okay.
So I did it. I was planning on as being first step into career for Disney. Like, oh, you do your DCP, you move on, and you just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas most people in the program, it's, oh, I'll do this for a semester or maybe 2 semesters, get a cool experience out of it. And if I want to go back to Disney after, fine. But my situation when going to this was, okay, stepping stone. And it did not happen. It didn't go the way I wanted in terms of career, but it was a fantastic time, and we can get more into that in a bit. But you get the phone interview, and they'll ask you to be completely honest of, okay, why do you not want to work in custodian? Well, why do you think you can work in attractions? Are you able to memorize the script?
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to walk a good amount of the day? It's honest questions. And if you answer honestly, in my personal opinion, you should be fine. But it just might not be the position you're wanting. So if you're wanting to go into your first, they'll let you like number your picks. So like 1 through 8.
Mm-hmm.
And you put attractions on the top, and then you have photography, and then food, and then merch, and there's others, but I'm just giving you an example. Well, you might not get your first pick. You might not get your second pick. You might get stuck with your 5th, 6th, 7th pick, and it's a choice. Then, do you
Mm-hmm.
want it? Do you really want to be there, or is it really not worth it? I mean, I got into merchandise, and that was actually my 4th pick.
Mm.
But
What were your
my
top?
first pick was photography. I wanted to be a photo pass person because that was my major. I was a broadcasting journalist major.
So you would think that they would then lean towards that, since that's what you had gone to school for. Do you know why
It's
you
all
ended up
about
in
spots.
merchandising?
They're limited to amount of spots that you can have with DCP.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally up to, do they have enough spots? If you're early on in the process, are you later on in the process? You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's lottery. You might get lucky and get the one you wanted, or you might get lucky. Like, let's say you wanted to be what I considered the be-all, end-all job, which was costume character.
Mm.
You actually have to audition. Like, they actually tell you, you have to go and audition, and they will say, here's your audition is at this place at this time. You better show up.
So do you know any of your what do you call them, Disney College program mates that were in
Yes.
Costume character?
Yes, I knew at least 2.
Nice.
One of them was friends with a lot of different characters. One particular, he was friends with Pluto for the longest time, and even after I left DCP, he was still there. I don't believe he still is, because he's trying to work on Broadway now.
Oh, good for him. Wow.
And I wish, if he's listening, I wish the best of luck to him. He was a great person. He was a great friend. Best of luck. Same with the other friend. I will shout her out. Hey, Rachel.
And so you get accepted, and now is it like a fraternity when you get there? Does it feel that way? Does it feel more like work? What's the atmosphere?
Well, first of all, you got to get that email, the infamous congratulations email. And for a lot of people, that is moment number 1 of, like, you see all these videos of, like, I got into Harvard, I got into Yale, I got into the DCP program. That is what it's like for a lot of people. Just the relief of seeing that you got it.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot of information thrown at you at once. Now, it's a bit different with the living situation now, because back when I was there, they still had Chatham. They still had the Commons. They had 4 living areas, and now it's 1. It's called Flamingo Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody in the program lives in that one complex, and it's actually on Disney property, whereas the old 4 were over by the outlet mall on the other side of I-4. which you can actually rent now, like actually rent.
So they've definitely stepped up what the accommodations, we'll say.
From what I'm hearing, the accommodations are about the same in terms of quality of the rooms and among other things, but it is definitely better for Disney that you have all your college interns on site rather than dealing with the craziness that is that intersection over by Hotel Row.
Mm-hmm. And in our chat, Frank,
But it is definitely a lot of information thrown at you because they're going to tell you where you're living. They don't tell you your roommates yet. Like that's something that's more down the line, but you'll figure it out, and everybody groups up on Facebook and tries to figure out, okay, who's bringing what, who's getting this. It's like dealing with your college roommates, but on a bigger scale, because you could have anywhere between 3 roommates, so there's 4 in a room, like because usually it's 2 bedrooms, or it could be anywhere up to 8, so 3 bedrooms. So I had 6 in mine with 2 bedrooms, so 3 people per room.
Wow. Okay.
And I still miss some of my roommates from back then. I had a roommate named Duke. He was one of my best friends while I was there. He got me through a lot of stuff that I was dealing with. He was a great friend. I miss him. He lives out in Missouri now. I really do miss him.
Do you keep in touch with him?
Oh, I still do. There's a few from my Disney friend group that I still keep in touch with, or I got them on Facebook. So I know what's going on in their lives. I haven't met any of them in a few years. The last 2 I met was Rachel, who I mentioned earlier, and Jordan, who was still working at Disney at the time. And that would have been pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love to meet them, but most of the people in the group are pretty spread out now. Jordan's in Charlotte, so that's the easiest one, I think. But everybody else is like Michigan, Kansas, Missouri, Arizona. You never quite know who you're going to get. You might even get an international student or 2. I was good friends with a girl who was from Tokyo, and I actually had the great opportunity to meet her again when I went to Japan in 2023.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And I will probably again, because I'm going back in November, and it's going to be a chance. I also have a cousin who's in the military in Japan, so fingers crossed. And yes, I will be going to Tokyo Disneyland. I am really excited to see Fantasy Springs.
Have you been before?
Yes, I went in 2023.
In 23. Okay. All right. Yeah. Fantasy.
So I did both parks. I actually stayed in the Ambassador Hotel. I didn't get the big and fancy. I got the original.
A lot of people come away from. I'll say a lot of people come away from Tokyo saying it's the best park that Disney has. Do you agree?
Which one?
Oh.
Are you saying best resort or best park?
Best park.
But which one?
Oh boy. I don't know, Lawrence. What have our people said?
I'd have to look. I'd have to look at what people have said.
So you either got Tokyo Disney Sea or you got Tokyo
Disneyland.
Well, Tokyo Disneyland has one major advantage, which I know a lot of people will either like or hate, depending on your point of view of the original ride. They are the only place with the original Splash Mountain now.
Yeah.
And it is so weird to hear that song in Japanese. Now, the best thing is I freaked a lot of people out on that ride because I started singing the song in English and then halfway through switched to Japanese, and they were like, oh, crap.
Oh, wow. So you know Japanese?
Learning.
Or do you just know
I've been teaching myself for years.
Good for you.
It is really, really hard. Japanese is probably the 3rd hardest language in the world. Like a lot of the Asian languages, especially like Mandarin, is extremely hard. Like, I'm teaching myself how to speak it. I am still terrible how to read it.
I could only imagine.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're talking like best park, I'm guessing most people are going to say Tokyo Disney Sea. Now,
Okay, let's just
I will definitely say there are things in Tokyo Disney Sea that do give it advantages. Their version of Tower of Terror is amazing.
I've heard that.
It is themed around a adventurer who went to a remote island and got this little tiki idol, and they actually sell them. It's like this big, and it's cursed, and it takes over the hotel and it's trying to kill you.
Ooh.
And it's
I thought
right
the
next
Manahuni
to
was
Toy
bad
Story
before.
Main.
I think we've done that one on the post show, if I'm not mistaken. I
The
think.
infamous Woody head.
Yeah, I think we've done that one. I have to see. If not, we will do it soon.
Yeah, it's one of the most infamous things where you like walk through Woody's mouth to get on the ride. Like everybody sees it on around Halloween because they make it even like spookier. But those two rides are actually right next to each other, which is really weird when you think about it. They have their own version of Soarin'.
Really?
It's more historical flight themed.
Oh.
Hmm.
I didn't know that. I thought their Soarin' was like
They have a
everyone else.
very, very cute Aladdin Magic stage show.
Okay. I think I've seen that on YouTube before.
Let's see what else. It wasn't open, but they do have a Finding Nemo area. When I was there, they do have Turtle Talk with Crush, which I did go do. I didn't say anything. I just wanted to hear Crush in Japanese,
In Japanese.
and them try to do, and them trying to do the Southern California dude.
That's cool. That's cool.
And they did do a good job of it, but it's just like it's that shock of like, oh god, they're actually trying to do the accent.
So our turtle talk is in the seas. Where is theirs? Is it just on its own in a?
So there's a big cruise ship actually there. It's like permanently docked on the edge because Tokyo Disney Sea, like it actually has a retaining wall to keep the ocean out.
Got it.
So like you
Okay.
are right on the beach, and if you're standing in like certain areas, you can look out onto the distance and actually see cargo ships going across.
Oh wow. Okay.
Didn't
So
know that.
it is definitely like scenery wise, it is massively different. But the Turtle Talk with Crush is in the bottom of that ship.
Okay.
And they actually have a stage that's connected to the ship where they do a lot of stage shows as well. You could actually stand up on this railing and see the characters behind the stage door, and they will interact with you.
Ah.
But they also have two really cool restaurants, lounges. You have the Teddy Roosevelt Lounge, which is like your classic 1920s bar. And then I can't remember the name of it, but they have a really good restaurant on the top floor. And I ate lunch there. It was delicious.
So, what were some surprises in after you get the letter and you start? What are some surprises, good and bad, about the program?
Especially since this is a nationwide podcast, I gotta say this is people are not ready for the heat. Like
Yep.
they Florida's hot, but they don't prepare for it at all. Like especially if you're from the Northeast or like the Northern Midwest area or like Washington State, please get outside, go for walks, do something. Like you have to get ready for being outdoors a lot. And a lot of people are just not ready for it. And I saw people pass out on day one.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. But you're right.
One of the cool things is one good cool thing. We'll do one bad, one good. We'll go that way. So everybody knows traditions. They know that's like the training program. Well, what they don't tell you is they actually take you on your own personal like VIP tour through the park with your group through Magic Kingdom. So like if you haven't been through Magic Kingdom a lot, that's your first big, oh, I'm learning stuff moment.
Whether you're going to work at Magic or somewhere else, they still take you through the Magic
Take you
Kingdom.
through Magic.
That's pretty cool.
And I will tell you that guests really do appreciate when you give a fun fact or a little bit of lore. A lot of guests really appreciate that because they are learning something they never knew, or they're learning a little trick of making it a little more magical, or you're helping them out trying to get from point A to point B a lot quicker. When you do those little tidbits of information, it really does make people's experience a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with
or
that.
it gets you in trouble, because I actually did get in trouble for teaching kids how to spot fake pens.
Oh. Oh boy.
That's interesting because you think that would be okay to do, but apparently it's not.
The reason behind it was as a cast member, you are not allowed to tell a kid no in terms of a trade. And I wasn't telling kids no, but they perceived it as me rejecting the kid's trade.
Got it.
Oh, I gotcha.
So what I was more doing was I was taking the fake, giving them a real pen, and destroying the fake.
Somebody had a question here. 86JB wants to know what was the food like in Disneyland Tokyo.
Oh my lord, it was so good. When they say you go to Disney World and you're going to come back with either losing 10 pounds or gaining 10 pounds, it is the exact same. Especially the time of year I went, because oh my lord, summer in Tokyo is just as bad as Florida, if not worse.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought that.
No.
It's the humidity. Like, because you're so close to the ocean, it just hits you like a rock.
Yeah, I lived on the beach when I lived in New York.
Like, if you hit it right before the rainy season, the humidity just stays for weeks at a time.
See, we got to get over there,
I would
Corey.
definitely say the food's good.
Yeah. So, what's a good time of year to go? Would you say, time frame wise?
It depends on your availability. Like, are you going by yourself? Are you going with family? Since I was alone, personal trip, I had a lot more leeway, and I based it more off of what was my availability with work, when I could get the most time off, and it also happened to be my birthday on that trip, so planned a lot of things around that.
How about strictly weather-wise? Like when would you suggest
weather-wise, post October is a good time to go. So it's right after the monsoon season, and it does get cold in Tokyo. So it's before it really does get cold. Around probably December. If you're used to cold, go right ahead. I'm going in November, so it's a different experience this time around. There's other tourism seasons where I'm like, if you go during this time, it's same with Walt Disney World. If you go during this time, it's going to be crowded, and you're just not going to have a fun time. That is mostly around the spring, so like March, April area. Mostly because like the sakura trees, cherry blossoms, or Golden Week, which is actually coming up, which is like a massive holiday for a lot of Asia. Like, they all have things around that area of the calendar. So I would say probably early spring, around February, March, probably be a good idea. If you're used to dealing with the heat, then the middle of summer, July is a good idea if you're just used to the heat. And if you're not, try to pick something after the monsoon season. So September, October, November.
Good to know. Good to know. Frank F is in our chat. He was also DCP. I think he said 2011, if I remember correctly. So he's remembering a lot of the things right along with you.
Yeah, Vista Way probably. If you were in the program, you know what Vista Way is, and you know the reputation behind that building.
He did mention it, so I'm guessing he does remember.
The best
Wild
part is
time.
I can't even see the chat, and I knew somebody was mentioning it.
That's funny.
So while you were there, so you mentioned about going on the tour of Magic Kingdom. Did you meet any Disney legends or anybody in Disney lore that you were like, wow, this is totally worth it?
This was not during the tour, but it was during my time there. I did get a chance to beat Bob Iger.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
And I did get a chance to meet Josh.
Okay.
Because at the time, he was the head of Walt Disney World, just Walt Disney World, not the parks in general, just Walt Disney World. And he loves coming to traditions. Like, he just loves being that guy of like, hi, how are you? Welcome to the team.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that might speak to how I've experienced Josh many times in the parks too. Josh and I probably talked to Josh 3 times now, random places, and we bond over. We're from the same area of the country, so to have somebody in his level of power to pull me aside and care about my opinions of like sports. How do you think the Patriots are going to do this year? What do you think? And we sit and talk Patriots for a few minutes or something, So
you're talking to a Panther fan. We have bad memories on that.
He knows me enough for that. For when he sees me, he knows who I am, and I'll just never forget the last time I ran into him. I'm leaving Ratatouille, coming out of France, and he's coming around the corner in jeans and a t-shirt, and he goes, "Oh man, you found me," and I'm like, "Yep." But
see,
he's a
that
good
is
guy.
definitely something I would love to see more out of, especially just park executives. Just go around the park, just talk to people. That's how you learn how to make changes.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
but the fact that Josh was able to do that and he did it consistently, this is why I've said, I want to say for at least the last 4 years, ever since Iger came back, that Josh should be the next CEO.
I've thought that.
Because
I've thought that.
because he interacts in a different way.
Because he knows what the Disney culture is. He knows that it's a collaborative effort of we have to ask outsiders. And a lot of what I think is the problem with a lot of like the media culture with Disney is they're stuck in what I call the California bubble.
Okay.
Explain that more.
But where a lot of people who work with Walt Disney Studios, Walt Disney Corporate, and Walt Disney Parks all have been born and raised in California, and they just think it's the best state ever. They've never really gone anywhere else, and they're just they all have the same mindset of it's California. We care about California. Who cares about anyone else? And I see Josh as that refreshing voice in the room of like, wait a minute, we have places other than California we need to look at to make valuable contributions. Like, I can't remember what the park's name is. It's the one in Paris. It's not the main one.
Oh.
The one they're changing the name now?
Yeah, but they're doing like massive renovations to it because they realized very quickly of, oh, this is not working. We can't just copy and paste another park on there. We got to try something new.
I want to say I thought it was called Hollywood something.
I want to say it was Hollywood Studios, but I do not think that's right.
Somebody will let us know in chat.
Well, I mean, it's struck a chord over the years for me, and it's stronger than ever for me now, where I'm literally flipping through social media, like say Instagram, and it used to be if I saw a new popcorn bucket debuting or a new show, something exciting, I'd still look at it and want to look deeper into it, even if it's not our home park here at Walt Disney World. But now I'm just in a moment I'm in a state of frustration where if I see stuff, I'm tired of looking and getting excited and find out it's, for Paris or mainly for California, and I just flip off of it. Like I'm
But
done with it for a moment.
that's the thing is Disney's realizing very fast of you can get a lot of publicity just by advertising one park versus the other because of the international population of, oh, we want to go to Walt Disney World. What do they have? Well, Paris has this. Well, maybe we go to Paris because they have that instead.
Yeah, I agree things should be different. But it's just it feels like I think the consensus here is that Disney this it's the biggest property in the entire world for Disney, and they know that it's the most attended, and I feel like it just purposely gets left behind because of that. People are going to come anyway, so let's invest around the world instead. So it's like we're the redheaded stepchild in that sense for progress.
Yeah. Or the redhead from Pirates.
There you go. We want the redhead.
Yes, we do. Either way, either version of redhead. That was good.
So-
but I do agree with you with the stepchild idea, because what it used to be was Disneyland was always the experiment child, where if they wanted to try a new ride, they try it out there first before anywhere else. And now it seems like Disneyland Shanghai is the experiment child, that they're bringing everything from there over. But
do you think that's because they're
Disney
willing?
World,
Do you think it's because they're willing to try things over in Shanghai? Like that park is just run differently, and they don't want to experiment over here?
It's because of the fact of I think it's basically called the mission space factor, where they did experiment one ride at Disney World where they're like, oh, we haven't tried a new ride, like a brand new, we haven't done this before ride in a while. Let's take out Horizons and put in Mission Space. And a lot of people are iffy on it, depending on your way. I love it, and I do orange every time.
Mm.
But
I'm
it's that
a green guy.
effort of they don't know, and bringing a ride to Walt Disney World is a big gamble. So they always like trying it out somewhere else.
Mhm.
Like the Monsters Inc. ride is going to be a big gamble.
It will be. I think it has such great potential. I think they're going to hit on that one. But yeah,
we never know. We never know. But that's the thing, is this is the first gamble ride that they've done in a long time. Now, the only other one that I can think of like that was a straight up big gamble was Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yep.
And
and they're still hearing it, right?
Yeah.
It compares, right?
You cannot get that
Mission
song
to
out of my
Mars or
head.
whatever.
It will never stop.
God,
It is
I
the
love-
second worst Disney earworm.
No, I can listen to that all day long. I really can.
We all know.
but you're right.
No, not worst as in like it's bad. It's worst as in it will
Oh,
never
you
leave
can't
your
get
head.
out.
Yeah.
I gotcha. What's your first? Is it?
We all know what number
World?
one is. Yes.
It's so funny.
Number
Small
three
World
is
never gets stuck in my
number
head,
three
and I
is,
never get sick of it.
number 3 is Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never get that one stuck in my head either.
It's
get
that
other
thing,
things
it's
stuck
just
in my
that
head.
song where it's like, oh, I feel good. Let's sing.
I was listening to Park World Radio today in the car, and Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow came on. So yes.
Nice. Park World Radio gives me other earworms, and it's like music without lyrics. It's from attractions like that, and now I've got a few. They're not coming to mind now, but I had one in my head
That's also a
earlier.
big problem with the DCP is you will have that stuck in your head for years after you leave. Like it will never go away. I still have the Frontierland stuck in my head.
Do you? One of the pieces of music. Oh no, it wasn't Frontierland though. Where was it? Older Epcot. Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I
The
can
original
see it.
segment theme?
You would be passing through. Was it Future World? Da, na, 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 na. Does that sound right? Does that sound familiar?
That sounds like Future World.
Yeah, there's a piece,
Yeah,
and
because it was like that weird synth song that you would hear
yes,
coming
yeah,
coming past the ball. Yeah,
exactly.
I missed that.
Yes, I used to stop. I made the family stop. Like, we need to stop and listen to this right now. This is my jam. And then it went.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we
whole
used-
middle area of Epcot's just so different now.
Very, very different. What's your opinion on that? It's kind of like it
It
could be
has
big
some
enough
heart
put
to
an
it.
attraction instead, but I don't know. A lot
What
of
I
people have
think
a
it
gripe.
needs is a stage. It
Okay.
needs a true stage, like a true center stage.
So maybe pull back from the stage that is ahead of that a little bit as you head more in towards the park, because there is a small stage where they do Encanto and all that. Maybe eliminate
I
that and
think
put that in the center.
I think that's a fine idea for some of the smaller stuff, but I'm saying like a big stage where kind of like at Disney Springs, where you can bring in different groups from around the country to perform at the front instead of back in the United States.
That's
Mhm.
what I was gonna say. So do we take away the big acts for Eat to the Beat and
No,
all
no,
that
no.
stuff?
Big acts stay
Bring them
back
up front?
there. Big acts stay back
Okay.
there. I'm talking like high schools, middle schools, like the groups that would really be a cool idea just to put them in front of the park as, hey, here's some live music coming in.
Yeah, that's true, right? Because if you think about Epcot before it was recently redone, we're talking like just post-COVID. Over in Future World area, there was always a stage right there where a random band would be playing, that kind of thing. So we might be
Yep.
lacking a little bit more of that random
Well,
music
it's
being played at
different.
Epcot.
It's different ideas, and like Josh is willing to listen to different ideas, and sometimes really weird ideas. But it doesn't always work. But he's at least willing to try.
Mm-hmm. Disney's always listening. They do care.
Mm-hmm. And that's something with the DCP as well. Don't be afraid to throw out an idea. Like if you're working and you just have a random idea, don't be afraid to just bring it up to your manager. You never quite know.
I like that. I like when companies pull innovation from, the front lines, because they see it all the time. They see it day in and day out, and they could be like, hey, it could be something innovative. It could be something that just creates a little bit more, gets people on the ride faster, increases merchandise sales, whatever it is. But we, those on the front line certainly see it.
And
Yeah,
I will definitely
absolutely.
say that's one really good thing about the DCP program is the managers will tend to listen to at least ideas. They may not go forward with it, but they'll listen to see if it has any merit. As we go back to one good, one bad thing definitely is a lot of people go into this thinking it's going to be a cakewalk. That, I take some classes, I go work at Disney for 20 hours a week, and then I get a free pass to go into the parks whenever I want. No. It is a job. You are there to do a job. And if you don't do the job, you will be punished like a job.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard some things from DCP members as well, and those are some of their gripes. Or I don't want to confuse it. You definitely work at least your 20 hours for sure.
Yeah, and I'm a bit different in my situation because, like I said, I already graduated at this point. So I didn't have any classes. I was working upwards of 45, 50 hours a week. I was making bank at the time.
Yeah,
They do take your rent out of your paycheck, so you don't have to worry about paying rent. It's taken straight out of your paycheck.
right, that's good. I heard a gripe from a DCP member that it wasn't even they weren't making enough money to even survive on property and all that, even with the rent taken out. So parents have to
It's still
support their
hard.
kids
It's still
financially
hard.
still in that program, and that can be tough.
Now, like over the last couple of years, DCP, everybody's basically getting pay raises, and I have no idea where it is anymore. When I was there, it was $15 an hour,
Okay.
and without state tax. That's without state tax, because unless you own property in Florida, you do not pay state taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know you would know being from Florida.
Right. Yeah. No state tax is nice. I own a home, so I
But
pay that.
it's definitely different, like, because especially Orlando. Orlando is such an expensive area. You gotta learn how to save money any way you possibly can. Don't go out and party so much. Don't go to the parks every day when you're not working. It's definitely a thing where a lot of people can and will spend way too much money without realizing it.
It's easy to do. I get it.
You do it when you're on vacation, and you'll do it when you're working. Like it's the same thing with going on vacation there with a family. You have to learn the budget, and you have to stick to that budget. Now, if you have roommates who are really helpful, like I had a roommate named Joe. He owns a catering company up in Virginia Beach, and he actually cooked at the Grand Floridian, and he just loved cooking, so he would cook for us almost every other day.
Oh, nice.
I mean, he was one of my best friends when I was there. Him and Duke were basically my two best friends while I was there. But if you don't have that, plan it out with your roommates of like, okay, we'll all pitch in to make this meal on this day. If you're working, we'll have leftovers so you can eat it out of the fridge. Always have like one night where you go out to eat, whether as a group or you're by yourself. It's always a good idea to have at least one night where you're not dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And have one night where you're eating in the park.
Good plan. So I make friends with DCP members all the time, and love hitting it off with them, joking, laughing. They remember me when I see them, and then poof, they're gone. So I don't ever really strike up these kind of relationships with permanent cast members. So if you had to guess, how percentage-wise, how much is how many people are DCP, you think, in Walt Disney World compared to
on a
regular
daily basis?
Sure.
Ooh. I would say post 4 p.m. almost 90%.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay.
Most full-time workers are there in the mornings. And then in the afternoons, it'll be part-timers, some full-timers, depending on what their job is, and all the DCP kids. I can almost guarantee you Main Street is almost entirely DCP outside of management.
Would that work in general for the weekends as well? Like all DCP, pretty much?
Heavily.
Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense then for me, because I am not there Monday through Friday before 6:30 in the evening, and I go on Saturdays, so I must miss a lot of regular cast members.
It also depends on the stores. Like, you'll find a lot of cast members in the more special stores. So, like in Magic Kingdom, the Crystal Store, as you would think, the Holiday Store in Liberty Square. a lot of older full-timers work there. Same with working in Hall of Presidents. It's a lot of older full-timers. The Haunted Mansion tends to be more full-timers if they're older. Because it just fits the theming.
True.
Okay.
True.
Once you get into the ride, it's mostly the college kids.
So I have a couple facts. One, the program started in 1981, according to what I'm seeing, and there are 4,000 students per semester. And I kind of feel like that number is probably an older number. I feel like there's more.
I want to say on a conservative level, I would say it's close to 7,000.
Yeah.
But remember, this is all 7,000 people living at Flamingo Crossing that are both domestic and international.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that will be another good thing I will say for the DCP program. You will make friends from around the world. I mentioned my friend from Japan earlier. I met a bunch of people that were from Europe that were really good friends. I had a couple friends that were from Africa. One of them still works at Disney, and she is getting married soon, and I'm actually going down for her wedding.
Nice. So Flamingo Crossing, is beautiful. There's did you guys have security in your place? Because
it is a gated
there.
apartment complex.
Yeah. It's heavy security over there. I've been over there. Yeah. There's businesses around there. There's restaurants, and there's a Target that's mainly just supermarket shopping, those kinds of things. But they're expensive businesses.
You're in Orlando. Everything's expensive.
I know, but it's on Disney property, right? I think that
it is on Disney property, but when I was there, it was just off Disney property. So
right.
we would go to the Walmart that was up the road. Now that it's on Disney property, it's a little bit different. Like, you have different things around it. You have different people's priorities change in terms of what kind of shopping do they want to do. Me, when I did my shopping, I look for, okay, who has the best produce? Publix. Who has the deals? Walmart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who has the best clothing? Target.
Well, those are the things that I think they should have catered Flamingo Crossing more for DCP than anyone else. We were there the other day. I do my sneaker shopping there for the family, and it's not cheap. It's an expensive place. But you look around, and I just wish they would cater it more to them, where they can make it a little more affordable. Put a Walmart in. Put a Publix in. Well, Publix is expensive, and I don't know how they could shave the prices down for some of these businesses, but somehow subsidize it so that it's more affordable.
Disney does team up with a lot of the local stores, and they do publish them in the employee magazines that are distributed and you can easily get. And it'll say, oh, you can get a deal at this place this month, or you can get a deal at this place, or you can get insurance through this place with no premium.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I didn't know that.
And all of that's usually facilitated through the credit union, which you will automatically get a bank account in the People's Credit Union if you want it. Which I will always say you need at least one bank account in a credit union.
Yep. Actually, I have two.
And they're really good. And especially if you stay there long term, they're really good with mortgage rates. They're really good helping out buying a car. It is a bank, but it's specifically designed for working for Disney. Like, if you go to Disney Springs, you see their headquarters right over there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's literally, I believe it's right next to the casting building, if I am not mistaken.
Resort Budgeting says they preferred first shift, and would end up working first and second shift.
For me, it was mostly, do you want to open or do you want to close? Like, how much sleep do you want to get, or do you want to wake up early? And I did a good mix of both. I personally like closing at Magic Kingdom because I always like staying for the fireworks shows. And this was right when Happily Ever After debuted. So I was listening to that every night, and I memorized the songs. And as soon as as soon as Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame comes in, I just start belting it. One of the best underrated Disney songs ever.
Oh, it's great. One of my favorite parts of Happily Ever After is that. Yeah.
Yeah, but another one from that movie is one of the best villain songs of all time, and I don't think anybody is disputing that one. Come on, you cannot dispute Hellfire.
That whole, it's so funny because I didn't see, the first show that we saw was Enchantment as a family. So we started going.
Show. It was a good show for its time, but people just liked people gravitated from Wishes to Happily Ever After, and it was such a good transition that people just could not get over that it wasn't that they were not going to bring Happily Ever After back. And after they realized, like, okay, the 100th anniversary is over, the 50th anniversary is over, all the celebrations were done. Let's bring it back, because it just wasn't as popular as Happily Ever After, and they've had basically the same problem in Epcot.
So,
yeah, I mean, it always goes back to Illuminations, doesn't it?
It always goes back to Illuminations. Everything goes back to Illuminations. And I'm sorry, I can't remember what the Harmonious is what it was called. Everyone hated that those barges were in the lake the whole time, and they were just ugly.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to. I don't know what happened in the creation of those, but they were supposed to be able to come in and out. But somewhere that changed.
And they were also supposed to be fountains when they were out. And that didn't happen either.
They never did.
Yeah.
And that's what led to their demise. And also, they relied way too much on projections in that show. If you're going to have it as a clip show, you need to have something a little different than just a projection of the song you're watching. Which in the new show, I really do like the new show. It's not as good as Illuminations in a couple of factors, but it does make a really good show, and it brings that sense of nostalgia, not only the sense of nostalgia, but the sense of togetherness that Illuminations did have. So I will preach the new show. It is my second favorite fireworks show. And I still love Happily Ever After, and it debuted while I was working there. So it's going to be nostalgia for me no matter what.
Yeah. See, that's what I was going to say about Enchantment, because the first show that our family saw together was Enchantment, and we saw it for however long that was. So, it holds a special place in our heart, but that doesn't mean that Happily Ever After doesn't just kick you in, especially when Corey films it from behind the castle and you're just surrounded by everything. And then, the other night, we were playing with the idea of, was Tink going to fly? And he had dropped the percentage. No, she's not going to, because it got windy right away. And then she
46.6% chance she flies.
And she still flew, and it just, it's just something. Those shows, Disney really knows how to get you with those shows. So,
I got a little guy sitting right here. He's like, "Hey, pay attention to me." And his name he just so happens to be Goofy.
Oh,
well, it wouldn't be the first time we've had a pet, a fur friend or something debut on the on the podcast. Is it a dog or a cat?
Goofy's a dog. He's a chocolate lab.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, and the reason he's coming over here and paying attention is the chair that I'm doing this in is considered his petting chair, because whoever's usually working at home will sit in this chair, and he'll just come over asking for attention.
Oh,
or he wants something, either or.
So Resort Budgeting asks, on average, how long would it take to report to your job to clock in? Says he would get sidetracked because there's a lot going on.
Let's just say Magic Kingdom. So you actually are not allowed to walk into the Utilidor. You have to go into the cast parking lot, which is actually behind the park, where where that's where casting is, where you can get all your outfits, and then they bus you in.
Mm,
So
got it.
if you are planning to be, let's say you're going to be there at 1 o'clock, you need to be at that bus by 12:30.
Okay.
Like, they run those buses regularly, and it's not really a big problem in terms of waiting, but you do not want to risk it, especially because once you get in there, everybody on that bus and everybody on the next bus is all trying to clock in right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like me and you worked at Frontierland, which is almost the exact opposite area of where the Utilidor entrance is, you want to have a little bit of extra time to get over there.
So
Because you can do two options. You could clock in at the Utilidor entrance, which is where the subway and the main lunch area is, or you can clock in over at the lunch area by your land, or upstairs. You can clock in up there.
So along that line, funny enough,
I'm breaking the magic for a lot of people.
That's all right. 86 wants to know what was it like using the Utilidors?
I thought it was really convenient if you know where you were going. It can get really confusing for a lot of people, and they'll constantly have to look at the map and just go, let's see, I'm over in Frontierland. I need to go to Main Street. I can't go here because they're doing a parade. Or they're like, the tunnel that goes underneath the castle, if they're doing a stage show, you actually can't go under it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you have to plan around it. It can get confusing for a lot of people, which is why they give these little daily handouts of, hey, this is going on here. This is a change. The parade got moved to half an hour or something like that.
Wow.
So why do you know why you can't
if you knew what you were doing, it was easier. You also have to get used to the smell.
I've heard that.
Oh, is that because a lot of the trash gets dumped?
All the trash goes down. Like, it's all a suction system.
Yeah, that can't be fun. Reminds me of New York, I would bet.
You get used to it after a while, but like, it is definitely like, if you ever worked at like a movie theater and you've ever had to go to like one of those trash compactors or a sports arena, same smell.
Got it. All right, so let's talk about D23. What was your favorite announcement from this past D23?
Oh man, it's hard to beat Monsters Inc. World, but I was so mad of them being ambiguous of, is it taking out Muppets? Is it going to go where Launch Bay is? Like, if you're going to be that ambiguous, just do it. Just don't slow rip the Band-Aid. Just rip it off. It's better that way.
Right.
That's true, and I think they did pause because they were afraid. They were afraid to reveal that news. They probably knew exactly when
they rightfully were, because people are understandably pissed.
Yeah.
So,
now, is this the end of Muppet 3D? I actually don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So my theory, and you guys can correct me if you think it's off, I think Muppets 3D is moving to one of two places. It's either moving next to Figment and Epcot, or it's going where that villain show is. Like, they'll do the villain show for a little bit, and then as soon as they open up Villain's Land in Magic Kingdom, it'll disappear, and they'll put Muppets 3D in.
So that's what I've always said.
Theory, I think we've discussed right here on the podcast. Yep. That's the most logical place for it. I hadn't heard about the one in Epcot, but that is a space that
it's the Honey I Shrunk the Audience room, and nothing's done there except for the short films, which I see very few people ever going in.
Yeah, it's been a long time it's been a few years since we've done the short show. It's a nice show. There's some great films in there. But yeah, it's time for a shakeup over there for sure. They've got to shake that up.
There is one thing that me personally I do every time because of a certain credit card I own. I am a Disney Visa card holder, and that's actually where the the card member exclusive character meet and greet is, right next to the short films.
You know, we have that, and we forget about that. We need to take advantage of that, Lawrence. We do have that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, use it.
I got Mickey and Goofy when I went with my two best friends last year, and it was amazing.
See,
Yeah, it's a lot of
Zach, now you have me thinking which would be better, because I was all set on it's going to go over there next to Rock and Roller Coaster because the Muppets are going to be in the ride
Well,
next
it would
to
make the most sense there.
Yeah.
But in terms of fitting the biggest need, it needs to go in Epcot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Muppets presence in Epcot, right off the top of my head.
There's no Muppets at all, unless you count like the presence they have during Food and Wine, because they usually bring out like a bunch of Swedish Chef stuff.
Yeah.
Like at the Food and Wine half marathon where they had the 5K be Swedish Chef this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at that. I wasn't at the 5K. I was at the half marathon, but my friend was running the 5K.
And I never hear anybody talk about this. So what do you think? I grew up just like Lawrence did. Our favorite character is just like in Disney. Mickey is to Disney as Kermit is to the Muppets, right? And I love both of those boys for their respective areas. So as far as Muppets goes, I think that Disney did a great job with the films. I think that Jim Henson would have loved it and signed off on it. I thought it stuck to what it stood for the original films he did, Great Muppet Caper and the Muppet Movie and so on. I think Disney has a good product there and people want it, but they don't seem to feed it. We need more movies. We need more Muppet stuff.
The only flop, and I think that's why Disney is kind of hesitant right now of doing Disney, is because they tried doing that weird TV show where they tried to turn the Muppets into The Office, and it just did not work.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're so hesitant on it, because every time that the Muppets have a flop, it's usually years before they try again.
That's a good point. What did you think about, did you see the Haunted Mansion special? Because I think they nailed that.
That was perfect. It was weird. It was zany. It was wacky. It was Muppets.
Yeah.
They need to do, in my personal opinion, when they reopen Big Thunder Mountain, they need to do it there.
Do what? Do what there? Exactly.
They need to do like a Big Thunder Mountain special, because I know Disney's thinking about making Big Thunder Mountain into a movie, so it'd be a cool idea for promotion. Like, if you are doing that movie, film the Muppets at the exact same time.
Okay.
Or if you want to do like a exclusive for we're reopening Big Thunder Mountain on this date, have two of the Muppets be the promotion video.
Yeah, we need more Muppets presence for sure.
I'd be all for that.
Let's go.
And anything that gives us more Muppets, I'm good with it. Especially if it's in that same realm as the Haunted Mansion.
Muppets is the most underused property Disney has.
Yeah. I pound the table for it. I think they've got a good product there. I think that they know what they have with Marvel, and then my question is, why can't we be more consistent with the quality of shows and movies with Star Wars? Why are we missing that?
Because they've been trying
Marvel all the time.
In my personal opinion, is because they're trying too hard. They're really trying too hard to please everybody. What they just need to do is button down and say, we need a good story. Boba Fett, they try to basically make Breaking Bad.
Interesting take. I'll tell you this, with Boba Fett,
I would say like the best show they've done. Not movie, show. Other than The Mandalorian, we'll skip that one for right now, because obviously that was a major hit.
Yeah.
Andor.
So I have to go back and I think I got to go back and watch season 1 because it was critically acclaimed, and maybe I just missed something with it. I was a little bored with it, but
It
I
is
was talking
definitely
with
a
my
slow
son about
drag of a show.
it's a slow, yeah, and I think I'm gonna have to attack it again because of all the hype around season 2. And season 2 looks like it's almost like now when you see season 2 trailers, it was like you needed series 1 to set up for what's about to really go down. It has more of a Rogue One feel, which to me is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, non George Lucas of all time.
It is the best non-George Lucas movie.
And even George Lucas said he loved Rogue One. So it
The
felt
big
like
the
a George
biggest
Lucas movie.
thing the biggest thing with Star Wars is the biggest mistake they ever did with Star Wars, especially with Kathleen Kennedy, was they got rid of the extended universe. They said that the comics were non-canon. I'm like, I'm sorry, that was a litany of stuff you have to work with. Why are you trying to get rid of it?
Yeah.
I feel like with Star Wars, especially with Lucasfilm, because of the Kennedy situation of her contract being up at the end of the year, or I think it's June. It's up in June, I think.
You think we'll be
They're
free
gonna
after
be,
that?
yeah. She's not being re-upped. I think that they're done with her, but
Mhm.
they're gonna enter a transition period where we might not see anything Star Wars for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and Star Wars
And
Celebration
personally, I
happens
think
this weekend, so we'll see if there's any announcements for anything.
that's going to be a good thing. It'll drive up demand of, like, people are so saturated with Star Wars stuff right now, driving up scarcity and just saying like, "Hey, we're not releasing anything new. Go watch the old stuff." Might drive more eyes to some more Star Wars stuff, and when you eventually do put out the new one, the demand is going to be there.
That is true. That is true. Um, so a lot of
And
people in chat
fun
are saying
fact
too.
about Star Wars, my name is actually on a beam at Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, nice.
So when they put up the first beam of a new ride, they actually invite all the cast members that are working there to sign it as a good luck charm. So it's usually up in the rafters somewhere. At the time, I was doing a week-long stay in Hollywood Studios. As a friend of mine, we traded shifts. That's another good thing. You can trade shifts with the DCP program, and I traded shifts like crazy because everyone wants to work in Magic Kingdom. I think by the end of my second month, I had one shift in every park and every land inside of Magic Kingdom.
Nice way to work it.
It definitely is a big thing because if you're like merchandise or you're food and beverage and you're just a cashier, your training's universal, so you can trade shifts with whoever.
Oh, that's good to know. Good tip and makes sense. A lot of people in chat are saying that this first season of Andor was slow and a little boring. But I can tell you this: there is on Disney Plus a 15-minute show that it wraps up season 1 all in a nice tight bow. So if you want to prepare for it and not go back and watch the whole thing, you can spend 15 minutes catching up on the first season of Andor, and I'm sure they'll give you everything you need to know. And also, Michelle Hollensteiner in chat didn't know that they did a Muppets Haunted Mansion, and it is still viewable on Disney Plus. You can still watch it on Disney Plus. Just look
Or
up
you
Muppets.
could go on to Disney Plus and watch the 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie.
That's true.
Oh, is it okay? It's on there. All right, and there's a whole new line of merchandise that just hit the parks last week, and I actually like the Spirit jersey. It's
The
pretty
best
cool.
thing about that like, they have some clips online, and it amazes me that in the original Goofy movie, they actually tried to not have Bill Farmer to be the voice of Goofy.
Really? Oh, well, my first guess would be money. Why they would try to avoid him, but I'm not sure.
They wanted, I can't remember the guy's name. He's from Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh, Cheaper by the dozen. I can see some faces. That
He's
wasn't
the
dumb.
dad.
Was that Steve Martin?
Famous
That I was trying
Steve
to think of
Martin.
Steve
Yep,
Martin.
it was him.
It was him.
It was
really.
him.
I didn't know he could do Goofy, but I guess I could see
No,
that.
they didn't. They didn't want it. They wanted to pull a Garfield where they had
Oh,
just Steve Martin doing his voice.
wow.
And the way they got the executive to realize his mistake was they had Bill Farmer just read the lines in his regular voice, and they realized very fast, oh, this is a terrible idea.
Court Marie wants to know what your favorite Star Wars movie is.
Who of all time? That's going to be a hard one. Rogue One is definitely in the top 5. I usually put it in the top 3. For me, I would definitely say.
Say it. Say it.
Ooh.
Say it. Say it.
Episode 5.
Oh. I got to do the math. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. It worked. Absolutely. Not only, in my opinion, is The Empire Strikes Back not only the greatest Star Wars movie of all time, it's the greatest film of all time. I just literally talked to my wife about this before we started. It's the greatest.
I'm going
film
to
of
debate
all
on
time.
you with the greatest movie of all time all day
There's so
because
much
I'm a
turmoil.
fan. It is,
so
but
much
I am
turmoil
a
in
fan
that
of a certain giant radioactive monster from Japan.
Oh. Giant radioactive Oh, Godzilla?
Godzilla 1954 to me is the best movie of all time.
Really? What makes that the best movie for you of all time?
It went in 1954. It dared to try new filming techniques that no one has ever done. Giant monster movies. Everybody was like, "Oh, King Kong! Everything has to be stop motion." Because of that,
Love stop motion.
No, they were like, they didn't do stop motion. They did suitmation. They
they
made
did?
their own thing.
Oh.
So, like the trope of guy in a suit trampling over miniatures. That's where it started.
Right. I
But
can
remember,
appreciate
this
that.
is 1954.
It really
So
was
Mhm.
1954.
in Japan,
Ooh.
in Japan, the original movie, it's an allegory for nuclear weapons. It's an allegory for nuclear testing. So in Japan, this was a real threat that they thought was real.
I could
Like
get
there
that.
were
Yeah.
theaters. There were theaters, like there was a scene where the National Theater in Japan was destroyed. They were showing the movie in that theater and people screamed.
I can
Yeah.
I couldn't
appreciate
imagine that.
Pulling something like that. Wow. Yeah, for
But
me,
for
Empire
me-
though is
For
just
me, it's just that movie was so visionary of we wanted to try something new. Akira Kurosawa is one of the best filmmakers of all time. Seven Samurai is one of his movies,
okay.
which
I
literally everyone copies. Everyone copies. So, oh God, I can't remember It's a John Wayne Western, but it's literally an exact copy of Seven Samurai.
Yeah, that's how storytelling goes. They say there are only a handful of stories out there, and people just pick from them and just switch things up. The characters, the timeline, settings, and you can compare a lot of things along the line like that. Like,
Well, I mean, we could
Twilight.
argue best movie all day. We could argue best Disney movie all day.
We could. But for me anyway, Empire Strikes Back is just it. Who writes a movie? Who sets out to write a movie that the good guys are going to be in peril the whole time and on the run and lose bad, and that's the movie.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what's called
to
the
me,
cliffhanger.
And to me,
And
I
it
feel
pulled it
like
off perfectly.
wouldn't movies be better if we didn't always have the good guy win, like for real? Because it would give you more suspense. Like when you watch Spider-Man, no matter what trouble he gets into, you know, in the end, you're saying in your mind, okay, I want to see how he gets out of this, and you expect it instead of, oh my gosh,
You just
Spider-Man
gave
died.
a very good argument for something that's about to come out in a few months. And I think it's about a year. I think
Isn't it?
when you finally get to see Doomsday.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of good
You
good
can't
Marvel
arrest him.
stuff
He has
on the
diplomatic
horizon.
immunity.
We just, you know what? I'll say this. If no one has seen this one, please fire up Disney Plus and see this. It caught me by surprise about how good it was, but it might be the best Marvel series I've ever seen on Disney Plus, and it's Agatha. It was incredible writing, incredible story. Just loved it to death. 5 out of 5. I don't know if you saw it or anybody did, but it was incredible. And Jacob agreed with me too.
So, as we wrap up here, someone else, I'm sorry I missed who asked, but they want to.
We had some fun.
I know. Pompey.
See, this is what happens when you get Disney guys together. We will go all day.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Or just
right.
Disney people in general. Like, oh my God, if we had a podcast with like 10 of us, this would never stop.
It's an idea, Lawrence.
24-hour podcast.
There you go. That could work. Pompey quickly says, is that what you're getting to?
Yep.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character? And I want to say quickly, you mentioned Boba Fett, right? Disney ruined Boba Fett for me because I loved the mysteriousness of him, and I didn't want to get to know him in the way that we did.
Okay. So if we're doing Star Wars, that includes everything, including cartoon shows.
I'll go there.
Anakin Skywalker, Clone Wars.
All right. I like your way of thinking.
Like, the cartoon portraying Anakin and Obi-Wan is comedy gold. And it really shows the dynamic, but not only between those two, but that internal battle that's going on in Anakin at a very early time of, is this really the right thing I'm doing?
Love that. And whose story is better than Anakin's, right? And then when it really comes to...
There is one story that I will put up there that rivals it, but they don't really expand on it a lot. They did with Rebels, and they expanded on a little bit with Ahsoka, but he's such an underused character and would be so good if they expanded on just his journey in general, and that's Ezra.
Oh, yeah. And you may not... I don't think you've seen the end of Ezra. I don't think you've seen the end of it. I think he's too interesting too.
He's such a good character, but the way they ended Rebels with him disappearing and then coming back in Ahsoka, I'm like, there's such a good timeline there of what did you do? Where did you go? What lessons did you learn before you came back? And then where are you going? Because you are more or less a Jedi, kind of like Ahsoka, where you're a Jedi, not in name, but in reality, you're pretty much a Jedi.
Yeah. I think the next Star Wars series or movie that can be made would be, I want to follow Anakin from the end of Revenge of the Sith and follow him up to, I guess
his
that would
early
bring us
days as Vader.
Yes, absolutely. The book was amazing. That would be, I think it would be a hit. Everybody loves Darth Vader. How captivating. Think about this, right? In all the screen time Darth Vader has had, to me, two of his greatest moments is Rogue One at the end when he just destroys the rebels in the hallway. Just shows a bit of his power there. And in Obi-Wan, where he gets his mask cut off halfway and you can see the human and the machine, just gives me the chills. Two of his greatest scenes.
There's one scene I can automatically tell you that I know from the comics, the extended universe comics, that I'm like, please give me this scene. Please give me this scene. It is when Anakin goes and visits Padme's grave.
Oh, okay.
Because he's having all these night terrors of, I could have saved her. She's still alive. She could still be out there. And he goes visits her grave as a final moment of, she's gone. I caused this. I can't forgive myself.
I could see that working on film.
And for anybody that wants to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters, it is the 25th. Is it 25th anniversary? It's limited.
I think
next Friday. Yeah, next Friday. And I've got my seats. I've got my seats for a week and a half from now. So we're gonna go see that.
There's some, like, I just went and did the Goofy movie 30th anniversary. There's another anniversary coming up, but it's not Disney, but it's still my kind of humor. They're doing a 50th anniversary of Monty Python, The Holy Grail. I have to go.
It's a classic.
And then in North Carolina, so somebody, wait, wrong way, that one, he might be interested in this. For GalaxyCon this year, Bill Farmer's showing up.
Oh. All right. I'm gonna have to put that in my put that in my list.
Come on.
I'll put that in my list. We're gonna look at that. Very interesting.
Oh, that's good. That's good
Yeah.
stuff, Lawrence.
Yeah.
See what happens when we talk, Lawrence? Things just happen.
Yes. So, Zach, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. I was going to say, come back anytime, but maybe back right before Disneyana might line up pretty well if you want to come back on and talk about the show coming up in Durham.
Oh yeah. Just for a little plug here. So Disneyana is October 4th. It'll be in Durham, but we also have 2 pen trading events before that. The next one, I believe, is the 27th, and it'll be at a hotel right next to South Point, I believe.
Okay. All right.
So
I'll keep my eyes on that too.
North Carolina people, if you want to come to Disney Pen Trade before any bigger events, and there's more and more pen trade events popping up. And if you go to the NC Disneyana Facebook page, we're always cross promoting people. We're always cross promote. I'm doing the wrong way again. We're always cross promoting these two.
Appreciate that.
It is always a fun time. You get to meet new people, pen trading, and you bump into me and learn some random Disney stuff.
Love it. Love it. Well, Zach, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming on, as I said, and teaching us all about your time in the college program. And we'll see. No, resort budgeting, South Point is in Durham. I think there is a South Point in Charlotte, but this is South Point.
Yeah, South Point, Durham. I got to be specific. It's South Point Mall, but it's in Durham.
Yeah. So, but thank you. Yeah, we will definitely be talking and have you back on again.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank
Take care.
you so much.
All right, bye.
Very cool. See, I love having people on that can tell us about things that we can't talk about. Like we know the college program from, the college kids that you run into and strike up conversations with, but we don't know it from the inside. So it's always great to have somebody on that knows it from the inside.
It's what makes us great, right? We think of subjects and we just go find those who can give more than we can give.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it great.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Let's hit our sponsor quick. Let's do that. If you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard, Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate, LLC. And he is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 15 years of experience in the Disney area home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Visit celebratingflorida.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with Victor. Your dream home is just a click away, and more often than not, we do simulcast Victor's home tours on Sundays following Relive in Diz, which is a look back on our live streams. If you want to know the history in unedited time on this channel, there's lots going on this channel on Sundays as well. So, yeah.
And this Sunday will be a Jillian takeover at Springs, from what I saw. And it's a long one. It's like 4 hours. So
I'll have to tell her. I'll have to tune in.
Yeah.
I need to tune in. Check that one out a little bit.
And of course, being Easter, Victor is not streaming this Sunday, but we'll be back simulcasting his stream the following Sunday.
Very nice.
And where are we tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are, I didn't even tell you, we are switching to Magic Kingdom. Tammy reeled me back in on that one. Lately I've been getting a little away from, Magic needs to be every Wednesday, pretty much, unless there's some weird thing where they're closing at 6 or something. So we are at Magic Kingdom Wednesdays on LID, and just gonna have some fun. I don't think we're gonna eat a meal. I think I'll eat on the way there. So we're just gonna enjoy the park. It is open till 11 p.m. Eastern time. Probably get some shopping in beforehand so that when we hit that last attraction, we'll take our slow walk down Main Street and we'll send it over to the post show. Do you know what's going on for the post show at all?
Not yet. I'll figure that out tomorrow morning.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Very cool. And then what is Saturday if we're at Magic tomorrow?
It is also Magic. It's one of the only times where you'll see us do back-to-back parks.
Okay.
Just Magic seems to fit for this Saturdays. And if we look into the extended crystal ball, Jacob and I were actually talking about some scheduling ahead of time. Back at Magic again the following Wednesdays. And then we'll come up on it. Gosh. Ooh. I got to look at that because I don't want to do 4 Magics in a row. So that next week, we have Saturdays as usual this week. Next week, no Saturdays. It's going to be a Fridays. We return to Friday for the first time in a long time because I still want to get that content in because we're going to take a rare Saturday off where we are going to enjoy The Lion King off Broadway at the Walt Disney Theater. So we'll be doing that. And we'll see. I think we're just going to go to dinner after that and call it good. That's the current plan right now for that. So might not do Magic on that Friday. We'll have to discuss that because we'll fall back into line with Wednesday on the 30th back to Magic. And then we'll see what we're doing from there. So those are the current park plans.
Alicia says she loved Captain EO. Very welcome. That was a lot of fun to be able to stream that all for all of you. And I was sitting here just bobbing because that's some good stuff right there. So, and then we followed it up with Epcot Forever. So we'll see what we do tomorrow.
Okay.
I know we did Wishes last time we were there, so we'll probably do Enchantment plus a couple others.
And we always close with the kiss goodnight for sure. Roderick Freeman says, I love how Jillian was involved in the streams on Relive and Diz. Jill was just involved as I was for the maybe 4 years, 4.5, 5 years of the channel before she was old enough to break away. So I try to tell people now, we're not the Simpsons. We age. And there'll be a transition. And the transition, will be less kids and more of Tammy and me. And we'll go out like that. Yeah, that's the way it'll go.
All right.
But next Friday, we go up against Resort TV 1. No big deal. I got you, Josh. No problem. You know what I said? To him and Jenna one day? I used to do Fridays all the time. It was like Tuesdays, Fridays, whatever. We did Fridays for years. And I elbowed Jenna, and I was like, hey, Jenna, I'm going to move to Saturdays just to give you guys a chance on Friday night.
Yeah. Josh and Jenna are good. They just did a 24-hour stream.
Yeah, good. Our good friends over there at Resort TV 1. Congratulations to that. That's not an easy thing to do. We came home after doing Saturdays, and man, we went to bed a little later than normal. It was like, all right, I got to see what Josh is doing here because, and we were active in the chat till maybe 2:30 in the morning. I had to see what he was going to do because I was thinking, what would I do? Yeah. This is tough. That was not an easy thing to do. Granted, he could have just sat there and pointed the camera and that's it. And people would stay, but he would sit a little bit, let them enjoy the balcony. Then he'd go walk around, go by the pool, go down to the lobby, things like that. Those are things I would have done too, but not an easy thing to do. So congratulations on that. I don't think we'll ever do it for us.
Well, one thing we will do though is the streamer challenge. And so we're working on that. That's going to be within the next we'll say weeks. So we'll
Yeah,
keep you
it's time to
updated
just
on that.
pick a date, bear down, and just do it.
Yep.
It's time to pick a date and
Yep.
just do it.
That's going to be fun. So we'll keep you updated on that. Got plenty of stuff coming up on the show. We got 100th anniversary. We have Brian Blackmore coming back on the show to talk about Star Wars and his love of Star Wars again. That'll be right before May 4th. And next week, we are going to celebrate Animal Kingdom's birthday on April 22nd, Earth Day. So we will be celebrating and talking all things Animal Kingdom next Tuesdays.
That sounds great.
Yep.
It all sounds good. All exciting stuff. So, said it all, done it all?
Said it all, done it all.
Said it all, done it all. Another fun podcast, everyone. Thank you so much for everyone that watches or listens at a later time, no matter what you're doing on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon, iHeartRadio too, right? Do I just forget? I forget iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio.
Yep, iHeartRadio.
Shout out to iHeartRadio and all of you that watch here live. We do it live because we do it for you, and we'll see you tomorrow night at Magic Kingdom. Then we'll have fun. Start with the pre-show, followed by us. We'll send it back to Lawrence for the post-show. So for now, everyone, have a great rest of your evening. We love you all. Thanks for coming out and listening and watching. And for now, we're just a couple of bros talking Disney.
Good night, everybody.
I don't know what that was.
DIZPod.